right. What's happening? Okay. All right. Top of the evening to everybody. Top of the day. Top of the night to everybody across the world. All right. If you ain't do it already, hit that subscribe button. That's what I was directed to do. To tell you to hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Share. Send the video to your friends, to your followers, family, to the people you don't like. To the people who you feel needs to hear this message. All right. Share and support. Of course, the link is in the bio for the book. Where we at? Frankie Travels Time. All right. You want to know everything about history? It's all in here, man. Matter of fact, let me tell you what this book is about. All right. An amazing visual journey seen in the eyes of a young person. Meeting and talking with common folks from previous lifetimes, learning their way of life. Time traveling never seemed real until Frankie experienced it. The enormous amount of hidden and secret knowledge shared with Frankie along the journey will change our future today. Frankie must now find a way to express and articulate the information and the instructions to the current world. Frankie has the answers to human questions, the solutions to human problems, and the direction for the human race. A lot of pressure is put on Frankie, but a lot of people are looking to exploit Frankie for the knowledge as well. Through the time-traveling journey, Frankie learns what people did about 30,000 years ago. Who built what? And what was the purpose for the ancient pyramids? What creatures roam the earth? Who were the first people? And how did ethnicities come about? This experience gives detailed insight from world history. Wow, powerful. This is what this book is about. This all right. One thing I can tell you about this book, if you want to know where where Arab people come from, Arabs, it's in this book. Arab people, I can tell you where they come from, man. All the Arabs is popping up in your neighborhood. You want to protect your child, right? They popping up in the neighborhood. They got all the smoke shops. They setting up shop everywhere. No juice bar, no fresh food, produce stores, no nothing. No health centers, no nothing. Just straight smoke and vape shops setting up all over the United States. Gentrifying the urban neighborhoods with smoke and drugs. All right, you want to protect your child from the neighborhood, man. Protect your child from these businesses, man. That's gonna be exploiting your children, man. They got the these smoke shops, with the neon lights, very bright, very colorful. That's gonna attract your child to come and smoke. Yeah, they preparing your child to start vaping. You know what I mean? Our generation was the cigarette. Now their generation is gonna be the vape, and that's what it is. So protect your child, man. I know you notice you go to the neighborhoods, the black neighborhoods, and all you see is vape shops. After COVID, all you see is vape shops. Nobody's popping up with no health center stores, no informational stores, no bookstores, no nothing. You know what I'm saying? Everybody just popping up with smoke shops. Why you think is that? Protect your child, man. All right? Be aware of your surroundings. Let's protect our girls. All right, back to the Arabs. All right, so if you want to know where they come, all right, if I tell you where the Arabs come from, will you go and buy this book? Like, for real, seriously. If I tell you where Arab people come from, will you go and buy the book? Because there's plenty more. Will you go and support the book? And if this, and what I explain to you, if it makes sense to you, go get the book. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna explain to you where the Arab people come from, and and it's gonna give you a little insight to the stuff that I'm writing about, and the stuff that that I want you to teach your children, and that I want the world to know. All right. Before we get into that, don't worry. We're gonna get into our topic. All right, we're gonna get to the topic, and the hot topic, of the past couple of days. We're gonna get into it, okay? All right, don't worry. I promise you. This is a perfect opportunity. We're gonna get into it. About the father with the bullying. Yeah, we're gonna get into that. All right. We're definitely gonna get into this situation right here. Very, very, very common situation. Very, very serious situation. Very, 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 very thought-provoking situation. An eye-opener. You know what I mean? And this is right up my alley. And I'm gonna close it out with helping. Man, we're gonna get into this. All right, here we go. I want you to buy the book, and I'm gonna prove it to you, and I'm gonna tell you where Arab people come from. So therefore, you can see that I ain't no joke. You can see it's serious things in the book. All right. To all my kids out there, here's a little history. To all my all right. The history is everything I'm about to tell you is prehistory. Okay, all that stuff that you taught in school is before all the religion stuff, before all the slavery stuff, before all the Christopher Columbus stuff, before all that nonsense. Okay. All right. Here we go. Arab people. I want to give it to you rough and short, but I want to give you the origin or where they come from. Number one, the word Arab means, black, or a dark skinned person. All right, a colored person. All right, that's one. Just know that. All right, what's next? Okay. A long, long time ago, okay, when we're talking about the Ice Age, all right? This is where we're gonna go. A long, long time ago, when Africans controlled the globe, right? Meaning there were black people all over. It was all black, right? And then the globe, the land started reshaping through years and whatever, earthquakes, stuff like that. All right, you have some black people that were stuck in a certain region, right? The Ice Age. What caused the Ice Age? It could be anything. It could have been the Egyptians messing around with with the stars and the planets, and they did something, and it caused something to come hit the earth and cause all that water to get displaced and then freeze and cause the Ice Age, right? They will tell you that it was two Ice Ages. It was two events simultaneously. That happened at the same time. Meaning it was an Ice Age, but it was an Ice Age on the north, and there was an Ice Age on the south. The north is for what we call Caucasians, and the south is for what we call Asians. Today we call them Chinese. And Caucasian today we call them pink people, white people, pink people. That's gonna be the new slang. So when the Ice Age happened, there were a lot of black people that were in they were stuck in Europe. White people, is known for living in Europe, but before all that stuff, it was originally all black. All right, so you had some, the black people that were stuck in that Ice Age, and be frank, that Ice Age is thousands and thousands of years. All right. The earth couldn't recover. It took thousands and thousands of years for that to make those changes, those climate changes. When you leave a black person in a cold weather without the sun for thousands and thousands of years, they will lose the melanin. They will lose the. Yes, I will. You know, if you freeze my frame right now, and you edit me and you put pink, and you can make me a pink man. Okay, that's what the mutation does to you. A lot of the black Africans, black people, didn't make it in the Ice Age. They died. And those that did survive, I explain to you, those that did survive, those are what we call today the Caucasians, the white race, the ones that survived. Well, how did they survive? Through mutation, through environmental adaptation. They adapted to the environment, but it took thousands and thousands of years and deaths for them to adapt to the cold. Forget the old theory that the Darwin, the westernized theory, the Darwins and the secret society people. Oh, you came from apes and all that stuff. Forget that nonsense. What we have to study is the earth. We have to study the people, and we have to study the weather. Well, that's still the earth. All right, so you have these people that were mutated and turned into pink people. All right, I'm a black man. I live in Europe in the Ice Age for thousands of years. I become white. In order for me to become white and survive, I lose my melanin. All my children, they all died, but because for some reason I had strong genes and I survived, I adapted to the environment. I began to grow fur. For my body to survive in the cold of the Ice Age, my body has to grow fur. Kind of like an animal. And so, me as the new pink man or the new white man, my hair is growing long to, protect my brain, keep my brain warm, to keep my neck warm, to my all the facial hair is to keep my to keep my face, protect me from the wind. That's what all that facial hair is for. Okay, so it's kind of like a big, shield. That's what all that fur, all that hair is for. It's kind of like an animal. I begin to grow hair on my back, on my legs, everywhere. I become this hairy person. Very hairy as a person. In order for me to survive in this cold Ice Age environment, there's no trees. I cannot grow no food. I cannot get anything. There's no fruits, no vegetables, there's no trees. Everything is frozen, solid ice rock. I have nothing. What am I going to do to eat and survive? What am I going to eat? This is where, all right. I'm getting too deep. All right. I'm getting too deep into the book and all that. All right. But anyway, all right. So when the because I don't want to get too deep because I don't want to explain the whole book. All right, the white people that were in Europe, they came into a situation where it was going bad for them. They had a situation called the bubonic plague. All right, so that means this is after the ice melted. After the ice melted, they came down from the furry, all that stuff, all the fur, what I mean. They came out of those areas and they whatever. Okay, they got into a situation where they got the bubonic plague. Pretty much, they were dying off their own filth. The Africans, the rest of the black people in the world got wind of the situation. They decided, Hey, we're gonna go up there and rescue. They felt bad. Those people got trapped in the ice. We're gonna go up there and see what we can do. For political reasons. The kings at the time, whatever. They want to. Whatever. They said, hey, send some bunch of people up there. Go save them people. So the Africans decided we're gonna send an army of people, and we're going to pretty much take over Europe and save those people. In those army, we bring doctors, teachers. A doctor is a teacher, by the way. That's why you always got doctor in front of your name and all that. You're a teacher. You're a teacher of medicine. That's why a doctor is. Okay. You got engineers. Whatever it needs to wake up a society and get them on the right track and all that. And historically, one of the things that you've seen, you always see pictures of these old pictures of a white woman or white man, and you always see there's a black person or a black woman bathing them in soap. Yes, that's where all that stuff comes from. The black people introduced alcohol, sanitation, to the Europe people, and cleaned up and sanitized and got them out the bubonic plague. All right. And then with all the history and all that, some people call them the Moors. Just call them the Africans, okay? Between all that time, there was times where certain people, white men, were chased and pushed to the Caucasus Mountains. They were chased out for whatever reason within that period of time. That 700 years, whatever. 711, whatever. And so they cleaned up the Europe. They gave them the Renaissance, gave them literature. They built universities. Civilized Europe pretty much. Spain, England, all the places. What I'm saying, Rome. They civilized that whole region. But in the midst of all of that, the 700 years that that the black man went up to Europe to help out the white man from the snow to civilize him, the black man also took the white woman. So in essence, the black man came to save the white race through the white woman. And of course, we always forget in history about mating, about these two people coming, these two different people coming together, and that's what it is. So that's how you got the Arabs. You had the Africans come over to Europe, procreated with the people that were the white people that they were saving. The mixed baby, what you call a mixed child, is an Arab. A mixed child is a Arab. Today in 2024, when an African has a baby with a European white woman, the offspring is an Arab. And that's how you can cleanse. They could cleanse them. Their genes. Let's say I'm a white family, right? And I got all these diseases in my family, and I need the black gene. So I'll take one black male, right? And I bring him in, and I have him, impregnate, a few white women, and vice versa. I'll take a black woman, and I'll take a few white males and impregnate her, and then those offsprings will be, the offsprings, right? And then what they will do, they will only cohabitate. They will only reproduce with white people. So the offsprings will only have babies with white people. So you come into that family, from now on, the only people you will never have sex with another black person again. Just put it that way. And the baby that you make is always going to be light. And when the baby, they pretty much pass the gene down. They wash it down. That's how they, what I'm saying, they do all that. We can talk about it another time. All right, so an Arab is pretty much, a mixed baby. Let's take the most famous one. Let's take your boy Drake. That's going on with the rap and all that. All that nonsense. Put a turban on Drake's head, and he fit. You couldn't even tell him the difference if he was a Saudi Arabian. Any mixed person, any mixed baby that you have, you put a turban on them, it's an Arab. You put those long dresses on her, she's an Arab. You keep her covered up anyway. All right. So that's where you get the Arab. So an Arab is nothing but a mixed baby, and that's just a little secret. And what happened during that time, when the blacks were having babies with the white women up there in Europe, those offsprings, those babies, those Arabs were pretty much outcasts. Is that the word? They were not accepted. All right. The reason why Arab men have no respect for their woman, and they subjugate their woman, treat them like property, and keep them at a lower standard by marrying them when they're 12 and 13 and all that nonsense, is because of the history. The Arab man, his original father was a black man, and that black man was a conqueror. He came over to conquer his mother. The mother, the white woman, was a prize to the black man back then, for civilizing, and the white men gifted white women to the black man, as what I mean, because they didn't respect, what I mean. So the original white woman was a gift to the black man, and the black man created the mixed babies, and those were Arabs. The original mother of the Arab was a gift from the white man to the black man. So that's where he never respects his woman, because his mother was pretty much a gift and like a prostitute. If your mother's a prostitute and that's your origin, then you will never respect your mother. You will never respect your daughter. So therefore, you're just using them for whatever reason that you want to use them and subjugate them. That's why the Arab man uses religion to subjugate his woman, because he never had respect from his woman, for the woman, because his mother, his original mother, is what you call today is a whore, and the father, what you call it, not a John, but the father would be today, which would be a conqueror. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't say a John or a Trick. Nah, he wasn't paying for that. The black man came and saved, so therefore the white women was the prize and the gifts. You know what I mean? And therefore, they had, the black man had, had their pickings, and that's where the hate, the animosity comes from for the black man. The Arab man hates the black man because the black man was his father, and the black man, did not respect his mother. He just, used her for sexual, just to cohabitate and procreate. So that's the history of the Arab, okay? And that's why those religions are subjugating the Arab women. And I was watching the other day. I mean, I already knew this, but sometimes they remind you of these things to push their agenda. There was an interview of a 13-year-old Lebanese girl. Y'all probably seen it. They were talking Lebanese, whatever. And then there was that was married to a 29, 30-year-old Lebanese man, Arab. There was Arab. And he was there talking, oh yeah, the father gave her away to the man, right? To Muhammad, gave the daughter away, and the daughter's going to be his wife, to be domestic, cook, clean, whatever, please him, listen to him, follow directions, and give him children. That's the plan for women that they have over there, and that's how they subjugate the women. So the woman cannot learn, do anything, go to have an education, have a mind, or nothing. That's how they keep they keep the woman dumbed down by raising her and controlling her at a young age. And that's what they do, because they don't respect the woman, and they don't respect the original mother. So the Arab man is what you call the bastard child. You ever heard that term? The bastard child? That's what the Arab is. He is a bastard child. He's a bastard of a race. He has, he has no true father because he was created, in a conflict or in exchange for something. It wasn't natural. It wasn't from love. It was a business proposition. The Arab man was created out of a business proposition. So that's why he doesn't respect his woman, and that's why he will, he will marry an 11, 12, 13-year-old girl and raise her and what to be his wife or however, to control her like a robot and be pretty much be a slave and enslave that woman. So the woman can't do nothing. Everything that the woman needs it has to come through the man. He has to, depend through the man to get that. That philosophy has, traveled all over the world and been pushed among other races, and that's where that comes from. All right. So yeah, that's the history of the Arab man. Aki, you running up in his store and his smoke shops popping up all over the community, man. I mean, come on, man. We deserve better, man. Your kids got to walk past 3-4 vape shops, smoke shops before they, get to the bus stop. Protect your child, man. All right. Yeah, I apologize about the little history, but if you want, I could get into about Chinese people, where they come from, but you got to support. All right. So I just told you where Arab people come from. You do it yourself. All right. If you all you dudes out there, you got a white girl, go ahead, put a little turban on your kid and see if they ain't Arab. All right. So stop playing. Don't be surprised by the nonsense. Just don't forget your history, but forget also people they were intimating. I can give you a little tip on my new book. I'm going to tell you who Native Americans are. A lot of people know, but they just don't have the common sense to put it together. So, my new book, that's why I need you guys to fund me so I can put all that stuff. And then, of course, behind all the history that I'm talking about is a, beautiful story that goes along with it also. It's a beautiful story. Beautiful story. All right? Pardon me being on the cover. Maybe I should have had, some flowers and birds and, whatever. But here we go. So that's the history of the Arabs, what I mean? All right, so we still protecting the kids. I didn't mean to go off topic, off subject. We still protecting the kids, but I wanted to tell you that because it just popped up in my head, man. Let's protect our children, man, from the neighborhood, because you know what I'm saying. Like that's all they're giving us right now, man. Smoke shops. Be careful, man. All right, here we go. To the brother, man. To the brother. Yeah. Let me pull it up so we know what we be talking about. This joint right here, man. It's deep, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's very deep. You know what I'm saying? It's deep, bro, because this is something that needs to be... This exposes a whole lot about us right now. All right? This exposes pretty much, black people. You know what I'm saying? It exposes us. All right? This is the dad. We're dealing with bullying. All right? That's going to be the subject of the of today's show episode. Bullying, conflict, and black culture. All right. Off the top. The incident with the dude, jumping, bro, whatever. Okay. Let's look it up. I'm gonna break it down into layers for you. Kind of look at it like you're looking at the globe, right? You're looking at the earth, and then you zooming in like you do Google Earth, and you peeling all the layers, and you seeing where everything comes from. All right. That brother, that black man, if black man controlled the world or controlled, the earth instead of the European, that incident would not happen. That incident, those type of behaviors are created by colonization or, of the earth, of black people. Because, fundamentally, if you think about it, if black men were controlling the world, they would not have a system. They would have a system set up to avoid these type of conflicts. You wouldn't even have these type of conflicts because we wouldn't be living in the same realm of day-to-day activities. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like those things would be non-existence. Bullying would not exist if black people control the world. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Because we don't control our reality, we don't control our earth, we don't control what's going on beyond our physical level. These incidents will happen. If the black man was running the world, there would be no such thing as bullying, because you would have a man and a woman in that home, raising that child, and that whole bullying thing would not exist. Okay, so let's get that. I want to get that out there ASAP. The thing what happened, this whole situation was created by colonization, white supremacy, and black people not be able to control their own reality. That's what it is, point blank. For all you high IQ, scholars, you studied, westernized, whatever. Yeah, you. Hold on. Yellow. Hey, what's up? What's up? Nah. Go ahead, go to the center. I'm doing a little video right now, so I come get you about an hour. Yeah, 5 o'clock. All right, bye. Yeah, so that's we getting that, we're gonna get that off the top. We don't control our own reality. So if black men control the world, that we wouldn't even have situations like that. There wouldn't be no such thing as the N-word and all this nonsense. You know what I mean? All right. So let's get back to reality. We don't control our work. And so us as a culture, the next layer is black people as a culture. All right. The first layer is we don't control our reality. The next layer is black culture, black people as a whole. We do not know how to resolve conflict. Americans in America, blacks, because our culture was stripped, raped, and buried from us, we don't know the customs and traditions of how we handle and manage conflict culturally, and from our culture, from our customs. We don't have that. You go to different cultures, they have that. We don't. Africans, Americans here in America do not have that, because we're not a real nation for real, because we're torn apart. We're just a jump. You know where we are. We're not organized. And so therefore, we do not have that skill within us. We do not know how to resolve conflict. And because we've been used to being victims of violence, we use that as the answer to resolve conflicts, even amongst each other. Well, only with each other, including our children. And so therefore, that's where the violence come from within the black culture, is because we have no knowledge of how to resolve conflict culturally. So when problems arise, we're gonna run to the weapon, run to the fists, run to whatever, run to the words, and that's how we resolve. We don't have that skill. We've never been, you know what I mean? We didn't inherit that. Okay? And so let's peel back black culture. Black culture, so because we come from a dysfunctional culture, we don't know how to resolve conflict, we create the bully nature. We create the bully behavior. The whole bullying comes from that. We create the bully. Black culture created the bully through the abuse that they themselves were victims of. You hear the expression, hurt people hurt people. So we hurt people through our culture, and we pass that down generationally. I'll give you an example. We have a culture where we joke on each other. We Jones on each other. Oh, that's just the way I grew up. We grew up cracking jokes on each other. You have to be, tough. That is not culture. That is negative behavior. That is dysfunctional behavior. That is a dysfunctional trait that we're passing down and accepting and normalizing as a society. So whenever you see a comedian and on stage and all they doing is heckling the crowd and cut, and dissing them, you think that is bullyish behavior. We take it for entertainment and we construe, mess it up and we accept it. Because somebody's being bullied is entertaining to us. It sounds funny. We think it's entertainment, but we minimize the pain or whatever the effect that it's causing the person. And therefore, we pass that behavior down to our loved ones, and they themselves pass it down to our children. The bullying behavior continues with the addition of the self-hate image that we have of ourselves. The negativity associated with all the stereotypes that's pushed in our face to make us hate each other is added on to that. So we come from a culture of just accepting negative behavior. We have to change that. If we didn't accept negative behavior, if we didn't condone joking and jonesing on people as a culture, as black people, these little situations would never exist. I don't think I see other cultures do that. Jonesing, your mama so, your mama your head. I don't see other cultures doing that. Joking on each other, hurting, saying destructive things to each other as a form of entertainment. So black people, we gotta stop the nonsense, man. This stuff with the brother that happened it happens every day, B. It happens every day, B. Because we are of negative culture. We love negativity. We're attracted to negativity, and we use our negativity to solve our problems because we don't know no better. And so therefore, we don't have the conflict resolution, method, skill, theory, and we're lost. And it translates down into the home. You get into an argument with your woman, me and my woman, we don't know, as black people, we don't know how to come together and resolve conflict. So we use harsh words against each other. We say hurtful things to each other. We do sneaky things. We take property away. We damage things. We tell lies. We manipulate. We steal. We, physically harm. Because we don't know how to resolve our issues and our conflicts. Added on with all that, we do not know how to control our emotions. So it goes hand in hand. No conflict resolution, no knowledge of emotional control is violence. All right? And so we live in a society that, that's what it is. All right, so we peel the layers back. We're looking at it globally. Globally, we're going to blame it on the colonization of the globe, right? We live in a white man's world, so these are the remnants of living in a white man's world, because these things are going to happen because these systems were in place, and these systems don't work for black people. So that's why these things are happening. Okay? And then you peel back the next layer, you see that black culture, has a negative, ego that they accept. The negativity, the violence, all of that stuff, they accept, and they perpetuate that only towards each other. All right? Now let's peel it back. Let's peel the next layer. The next layer. What's the next layer? The next layer is actually the brother. To the brother, To the father. No, I ain't. Yeah, to the father. Peace, peace, black. Respect, black. All right. Protecting the child. All right. I can relate to that brother, to that father. I can remember there was an incident, with a kid, stepped on, one of my kids' head, one of my kids' head. All I heard was that. I didn't want to know the context. Man, I was at that school, man, and I was ready to put hands on the little boy, man, without even thinking about it. I snapped. As a father, all I thought was just putting my, back in the day, the Simpsons. You know how Homer did Bart at the end? That's all I wanted to do. That's what all I thought about doing to the child that violated and assaulted, my child. You know what I mean? I flipped out. I was at the school, and this is an elementary school. You know what I'm saying? It caught me off guard. And at that moment, I could not, control my emotions, man. I really couldn't control my emotions. Could nobody talk me out? There was nobody there to talk me out of it. But my mind was already made up. I was going to the school. I want to know what's going on. I was on some rah-rah. I didn't care. In my mind, I wanted to go and discipline that child myself. I wanted to discipline that child myself. And then I wanted that child to go back, to the, whatever. And then the father would have to come and confront me. You know what I'm saying? I wanted that energy. I wanted to go to war, man. You know what I mean? I was, you know what I'm saying? I was wild. Yeah, I was off the chain. I was ready to go to war. And I didn't even know the situation. I didn't even care. You know what I mean? But then when you go to the school, when you go to the school, it's not like that. Number one, when children get into stuff in situations in school, like I already told you from the previous video, they want to keep it in house. They don't even want the stuff to get out. They want to be able to solve it themselves, and they don't want nothing getting out to school. If they can keep the situation hidden and in house, and it don't get out, whatever the situation is, whatever this incident is, they'll keep it in house. They won't even tell they won't even tell you as the parent. So of course, I get up there and I'm on some rah-rah. And then, they're telling me, set up a meeting. The same thing. We're going to set up a meeting. But what they don't want to do is put the parents together at that particular time. Because I guess, people are not slow. You know what I mean? They excuse my French. People are not, oblivious, you know what I mean, to seeing somebody that's angered. So the school system knows that. They know it's wrong to put somebody that's anger and has some type of conflict, and then you put the parents together. They don't want to play referee. They can't handle that. They're not in a position to do that. So the school system will never put parents in the same room and say, hey, y'all squash it. No, they want to talk to the parent, talk to this parent, and then they give back messages. Talk to the child, they have their mediation and intervention. All right, it doesn't work. All right. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And so pretty much I had to pump my brakes, man. I'm walking inside this elementary school full of rage. You know what I mean? And so I'm like, damn, you know what I mean? Am I really gonna, choke this little kid out? I wanted to. But I thought about the consequences, bro. Yeah, I mean, it's like, is that gonna solve the the problem? But I wasn't thinking that at that moment. Right? I'm gonna give you another situation. This was involving a teacher. All you men out there that work in around children, around young girls, stop complimenting young girls. Stop giving them compliments. Stop telling young girls. Stop calling young girls, hey, sweetie. Hey, honey, have a good day. Good morning, sweetie, sweetheart. Stop doing that to these young girls, man. All you grown men, grown-ass men talking that lingo to the young girls, man. That's a violation, man. As a black man, I'm telling you not to do it. And if you're a black man, you hear what I'm saying, stop doing it, man. You're a predator, man. That's a predatory behavior, man. You're out there telling little young girl, hey, sweetie, have a nice day. Hey, sweetheart. Hey, honey. Nah, man. Hey, beautiful. Cut it out, bro. It's not your place to be giving a young girl, a little girl, no compliment. Let her daddy do that. It ain't your place to try to build up her confidence. Let her daddy do that. So yeah, so watch your mouth, man. When you in them schools, when you in them places around young girls, man, you talking about, hey, sweetie, good morning, honey, good morning, little baby, all them little nicknames, you know what I mean? Y'all gonna cut that out, man. Yeah, so my my daughter, all I knew was my daughter was crying in the school because somebody said something to her and she ain't like. I was at the school. I was on rage, and it was a male teacher. You know what I mean? Automatically, I'm like, yo, this dude's a pedophile. You know what I mean? I'm ready to crash out. So I get up in the school. The women, of course, 95%, the educational system is ran by women. You know what I mean? And it's done by design. Anyway, so I go up in the school. The black women there, they see through my nonsense. I walk in there, try to be cool. Hey, I heard my daughter had a rough day. You know what I mean? Hey, can I talk about it? Or can I see the teacher? Can we? You know what I mean? I try to play. I got that rage in me, but I try to pimp. They saw right through me, man. They wasn't having it. Once my cover was blown, they seen the rage in my eyes. You know what I mean? They knew. Yo, I cannot, let you come see the teacher. You know what I mean? Come on now. You got two women. What are you gonna do? You expect them to, break up a fight between two grown men? You want them to referee? Nah. I mean, as a black man, I'm not gonna put women in that position where I'm gonna be fighting another grown man and they're gonna be yelling and I'm gonna force them to try to break it up. Nah. You know what I mean? I already knew that. You know what I mean? Just from my background. And so the point is, man, they're not going to let you see the teacher. And so they want to keep it in-house and all that and yada, yada, meeting with the principals and meeting. And then, they tell the teacher, they'll get them some training. There's no help, man. But there's a message that you got to send that message, man. You got to go up there, man, and kick the door down and let people know what's going on, man. All right? But, that brother, man, I was on that violent rage, and I realized, man, I could not control my emotions, man. I had to take a step back and pump my brakes and say, hey, whoa, wait a minute, I'm a whole grown man out here. I gotta pump my brakes, when it comes to these little, these incidents that's happening in the school. Now, some of these incidents will terrorize and traumatize your child for life. Off the rip. We know these schools is like jails. It's not a safe, natural environment. Off the rip. And so I was very angry, man, and I didn't like the resolution. I didn't like what it was. All right, even with the kid, I didn't like none of the stuff. All I could do was hope that it don't happen again. All right, so to the brother, you not being able to control your emotion is a result of something that we all have as black men. We're not able to control our emotions, and so and therefore we result to violence. And yes, you did the whole intervention and all that, and it didn't work. But guess what? All that intervention stuff that's a Europeanized system. All right, and then you as a black man, you took it upon yourself, put it in your hands because you couldn't handle your emotions, and I felt the same way. I had to teach somebody a lesson. I had to teach the parent a lesson like, hey, your child is out here committing crimes in the school, violating kids. You need to know that. So therefore, you as a parent, you need to teach your child how to behave, how to conduct themselves. So therefore, by you being a bad parent, the violation, you know what I'm saying? That's the lesson. I'm gonna violate your kid to teach you a lesson to show you that you're doing a bad job raising your kid. That's how a man is wired. As a father, that's how I was wired. I wanted to teach dude a lesson, and also the kid a lesson, a life lesson. Hey, you will never violate and bully a kid again, a girl again, a black girl again. There's something that is gonna stick in you, and yes, and sometimes it does, sometimes it don't. All right. But I realized, I wanted to be gun ho and go in there blazing, but I don't live in my reality, bro. I don't control my reality. If I was a black man and if this was a black world, I can easily solve that problem. If that thing happened as a black man, I can easily say, you know what, all right, I'm going to take this kid right here and just pluck him out the classroom and get him out of here. Now my child ain't got to deal with that. Living in a white world, a white man, he can do that. He could get your child kicked out the classroom because this is a white man's world. They control their environment. Eventually, they'll get your kid out the classroom. But we don't have that control because we don't control our reality, right? So therefore, we can't. That's not even an option for us. All right, let's go back. So we tried the conflict resolution. So the brother lost his emotions. He couldn't deal. He used violence because he didn't know how to resolve that issue. He felt in that case, when you use your emotions, you're being selfish. That brother was being selfish, for thinking that way, and I thought that way. Or I'm gonna teach somebody a lesson. These are my rules, and that's a selfish way to think. You cannot teach somebody a lesson. You cannot teach another man a lesson. You cannot make somebody do something. That's a selfish way of thinking. All right, and so we want to impose our rules and our ideology and our disciplinary actions and treatment and punishment onto the next people to teach them a lesson. No, that was wrong. The whole jumping thing, that was a little overboard. That was kind of Europeanized. You want to jump somebody. Jumping somebody means you want to humiliate them. You want to dehumanize them. That's what you do when you jump somebody. Well, in a regular jump, the average jump is two people, and then you have one. You jump a guy with two people, and then you have one guy looking on. If one of the guys is getting their butt whooped, the other guy would jump in, and you know what I mean. So they always have the advantage. And if you're gonna be dirty, 3-on-1, but it's not supposed to be like that. Then you know what I mean. But for you to get a whole bunch of people, that means you're gonna hold one man in one arm, one leg, another leg, and you can pretty much have your way with them. You're trying to dehumanize that person. You're trying to embarrass that person. That right there is a selfish punishment, and that's not how you teach a lesson. Violence is not gonna teach a lesson. Violence is only gonna add on to the traumatization. All right? You said you wanted to teach that little girl a theory about bullying. All right. We already know what bullying is, right? Hurt people. All right, so let's say that child came from a bullying home, all right? Why is that child bullying? Let's get into that. Why do children bully? They can have, older brothers. No, let's bring it to the core. They can have a parent that's disrespecting them, dehumanizing them, exploiting them, abusing them, all types of stuff. All that trauma, it transforms into a negative behavior, and it turns to abuse and bully. They can have older brothers, cousins, little kids doing the same thing to them, bullying them, and they do the same thing. And then and it's all, it could be verbal and physical. You could be a family member talking to your little cousin, your little daughter. Hey, with your little black ass, with your little fat, you know what I'm saying? All these things that we do to each other, these little insults, again, all that stuff is a form of bullying. So we joking around, we still bullying. The kid goes to school and starts these insults. Everybody got a yo mama joke. They all heard it from home because they you know what I mean? And they bring it to the school and insult other kids. So the bullying comes from somewhere, either in the home, outside the home. So the house is not stable itself. There's no love there. So a bully is a child that lacks physical affection, meaning, love, like a hug, kisses, and verbal, affection. Hey, I love you, Johnny. I love you, Tamika. You look great. Have a good day. You know what I mean? They lack those on a regular, repetitive basis. All right? Because us as a black culture, we don't know how to resolve conflict and problems and issues. We don't know the psychology game. We're out the loop. All right? We don't know how to resolve conflict. All right, so that brother, you was trying to teach a lesson using violence, but violence only begins violence and all that. It's not going to work. What you're doing is you're hurting yourself. You're hurting the little girl that you're trying to teach the lesson to. And you're hurting your daughter. And you're hurting the community. Let me tell you how. You're hurting yourself, for one. This is not your land. This is not your society. This is not your world. It's a white man's world. You went out and committed a crime. You assaulted somebody. Bruh, he can press charges on, your brothers. Let's say it's 4 of y'all. Okay, now you guys have charges on your records. Now that's holding you back from the system. You know what I mean? From the white man's world, where you can't get a job, can't go to school because he created that. He's anti-you anyway. So now you're making it easier for him. You got to, you have a record. Now you can't do this. You can't do that. Now you have hurdles in front of you. Now you ruin the lives of the guys, the other brothers you affected. You put them in harm's way, and you affected the community just by doing that. Just by you being selfish and didn't want to be violent by yourself. You went and got brothers to put themselves in that situation and then be part of a case. You know what I mean? Now they're gonna have a record. Just giving you an example. All right. So you hurt them and you hurt the community by doing that. Now that's 2-3 brothers, not gonna be worth nothing because they have a violent record. You hurt yourself. You can end up catching charges. I don't know what type of work you do. Some jobs may not, can require you not to have these type of charges, violent, yada, yada, yada. You get fired, you lose your benefits, you can't take care of your children. You have a job, you probably have benefits, medical insurance and all that. You might have a child that needs those medical insurance and all that. And you know what I mean? They lose all that. So that affects you, your family, medically, because you lost your gig. Now you're scrambling, begging the white man for another job again because you don't control your reality. So now you lost your source of income. That's one of the consequences of doing that because we don't control our reality. If we control our reality, if we wanted to use violence, if black men run the world, if we wanted to use violence, then there would be no consequences, repercussions behind what that brother did. But because we don't, there's consequences, repercussions behind that brother standing on, what he feel was right. So you hurt yourself by doing that. Okay? Now your daughter is not around, you know what I mean? Don't see you. You know what I mean? Well, they'll see you. You'll get bailed out, whatever. But you get the point. How does it affect your daughter? It affects your daughter, of course, like I said, the benefits, the income. But guess what? Your daughter goes to another school and the situation continuously happens again. You find yourself seeing that, oh, wow, my child can get bullied again. It can happen again with another child. It can happen over and over and over again. So what am I going to do? Am I going to keep catching cases every time my child gets bullied? I'm running to this, you know what I mean? You're not going to last that way. You live in a white man's world, you're not going to last that way. Something's going to happen to you. You're going to holler at the wrong parent, you're going to get smoked. You're going to holler at the wrong parent, he's going to press charges, you're done. You know what I'm saying? So it's not going to solve the problem. You didn't really protect your child. You didn't protect your child, and you didn't protect the community. All right? How does it affect the little girl that you're trying to teach a lesson to? Number one, she sees her daddy getting jumped by a group of black men. She has no respect for black men. Now she's seen her daddy, her loved one, whatever kind of relationship, seeing him getting jumped by black men. Oh, I don't respect black men. She could take it that way. She could take it that way. Oh, amplify the situation. I'm a super bully. Okay, if I really don't want somebody, this is how I handle things. Now the little girl that's a bully, she now has a tool. Okay, I'm just gonna start jumping people. She'll use your behavior as ammo. Didn't learn nothing. She's just gonna be jumping people from now on. No lesson learned. Didn't help the situation. Or the little girl could be, just traumatized, make her even more hateful, whatever. Everything is all negative. So the actions of what you did really didn't help the situation. All right, because if as black people, if we know our psychology and how we could take care of each other and solve each other's problems, if we knew all of that, then we would know. You trying to teach the lesson to that black man, you were wrong in your reaction because it didn't solve anything. Your child will continue to get bullied all through her school life. Your action did not teach the world a lesson. Nobody's gonna say, oh, that's bruh and them who you know what I mean, who ain't nobody gonna mess with her. You know how people say, oh yeah, once you do something to the bully, ain't nobody gonna mess with. No, that's not how it's not gonna end like that. Your child will continue to get bullied. All right, here's a solution. How should have you reacted, solved the issue based on a black man that's protecting the family, protecting the children, and protecting the community? All right, here's what you do. All right, all you fathers out there, black men, here we go. We understand what bullying is and what it's all about. It's negative behavior that's caused from negative behavior that we pass down to our children through whatever the source is. All right. What negates negativity and bullying? Love. You want to solve bullying? Give that child some love. Love on that child. I guarantee you, black man, if you wanted to protect that little black girl, both of them, here's what I would have done. Because I understand the psychology of bullying, and because I'm a black man and I have children, I have to take the time to do the knowledge and not just run this world blind and not knowing what's going on out here. Yes, I could have. It was okay when I ain't have no children. When I was in, you know what I mean, when I was younger, wilding out. But now that I have the children, I have to think different. You know when they say black people are lazy? I just figured it out that they wasn't talking about work and all that stuff. They was talking about this. You was lazy in the mind. You was lazy to study. Black man, you never studied yourself, and you never studied your enemy. But your enemy studied you, knows your behavior. All right, so here's how you would have solved the bullying. It's to protect your child. Let me tell you what I did. Let's go back. Let me tell you what I did to resolve my issue. All right, when I had the same problem as bruh. Okay, black, I'm about to tell you what I did. When I realized as a man, like, yo, I can't stop these situations because I can't really control these environments. I can't control these these goofy kids, these that come from dysfunctional homes, these babies kids, these ghettoized kids that come through and want to bully and do all this stuff, that come from single parent homes and lack of fathers and lack of discipline and lack of everything, lack of nutrition and lack of love, all of that. So I know all this stuff, right? I can't stop that. I realize it's only a matter of time until, if I keep reacting and using my emotions to solve my problems, I'm gonna be in a penitentiary. The penitentiary is filled with black men. Well, black men. 75% of the black men there in the penitentiary, they couldn't control their emotions. That's why they in the penitentiary. It ain't got nothing to do with woman and drugs and he did something to me and stole. They couldn't control their emotions. That's what it is. Well, brother, you wanted to know how you would have helped that little girl? All you had to do was go up to that school and give that little girl a hug. Start hugging that girl. If you knew the psychology of children, if you knew the psychology of bullying and where all that stuff come from, if you, black man, knew the knowledge as a father, you have to do the knowledge. The reason why you didn't handle that situation correctly is because you didn't do the knowledge. You don't have the knowledge of your surroundings. And that goes for every father out there. You want to resolve that issue, go up to that school, give that little girl a hug. Hug that girl, hug her tight, and don't even let her go. And tell her, hey, if nobody's going to love you, I do. I love you. I love you how I love my daughter that you putting hands on. You do that 2-3 times a day in a row, that'll twist her whole brain up, bro. But if you knew the psychology, you know that the art of manipulation, the art of psychology is pretty much knowing how to manipulate, right? So you have to use the power of manipulation in a positive way. It's kind of like having superpowers. You know what I mean? Knowing psychology is kind of like having a superpower, because you know you study the way people behave based on their behavior, their speech, their patterns, their whatever, their body language, all that. You can read somebody without even them saying nothing. That's an art. That's like having a superpower, but you use it in a negative form. So I would have gave that little girl a hug every day. And I guarantee you, bro, it's the opposite energy. She has that, that violent, aggressive energy, but then you bring in the opposite, and that love energy is just as strong. It's just as strong. And it's going to play the effect, and that behavior will stop, man. Because you're giving that little girl something that she's not getting in that house. Some type of love, some type of attention, some type of affection. It could be a physical affection, a hug. It could be a kiss to the forehead. It could be, oh my God, you look great today. You did so amazing job. Oh man, I love the way you did this. You know what I mean? It could be anything, man. Just praising them. That's what these kids are missing, man. All this bullying, man. They come from bad environments, man. Too much black culture. The reason why we got all these bullying kids out here is because it's too much of that black culture, man. That fake black culture that we have. That fake black culture that was created. Our culture was created on a piece of paper. Black culture here in America, our culture was created on a piece of paper, meaning somebody else thought of it for us, for you, and put it down on a piece of paper and say, hey, this is what they're allowed, this is what they're gonna have, this is what they're gonna be. And they figure this out, man. Why we only commit crimes against each other? You know what I mean? Black man, if that parent was a white man, would you have behaved or had that same type of energy? Would you have been as violent? Would you have jumped? Use your brothers to jump a white man? I want you to ask yourself that question. Because as a father, as a black man, I want you to use that same energy that you had to protect your daughter. I want you to use that energy for the police. I want you to take your brothers and go ahead and jump the police. I want you to use that energy, take your brothers, go jump the court system that's going to hurt your daughter anyway. I want you to take your brother, go jump the system that Planned Parenthood that's going to hurt your daughter anyway. I want you to take your brother, go jump the system that's going to hurt your brother in the school system, those administrators, those teachers that's miseducating your daughter. That's doing more damage. Go take your brother and jump on them. Jump on the principal, jump on the school board. Take your brother, jump on the people that's writing laws. The legislators. Jump on the doctors and these physicians that's you know what I mean, that's controlling these drugs that's gonna hurt your daughter. Jump on these lawyers that's taking money from the community. Jump on these businesses, man. Go jump on them, man. We only use that negative energy towards each other, man. We don't use that towards the ops, the people that's oppressing us. Go take your brothers and jump your oppressor, man. That's what a real father would do. That's what I plan to do. That's how I'm going to protect my child and her future. I'm going to jump on the system. And that's how we got to be as black men. Instead of directing that energy towards that brother, direct that energy towards the system. Yeah, man. Hey, that's all I got for you right now. I'm about to roll out. Hey, get the book. Frankie Travels Time is on Amazon. All right, love y'all. And stay tuned. Peace. And be a man, man. Stop being a punk. Raise your child. Protect that house.